All right, we're back for HackerKast bonus round where Robert Hansen is going to do a demo for us. And the demo, to set this up, so 2006, 2007 timeframe, I wanted to put a Tripwire on one of my webmail accounts because I wanted to see if anybody hacked into it, grabbed the password, guessed the password, or if any rogue customer service representatives at the various webmail providers would jump into my account and see what's going on. So what I did was that I put a web bug, a little piece of HTML, and an attractive-looking email in my inbox. Now, what would happen is, as soon as if you're in my account and you read the email, your browser would make a call out, a web request to a web server that I controlled, and the only person that would ever request that image was somebody that's in my account. So I at least have the IP address. I'd know when somebody accessed my account and the IP address. So that worked great, and the only two times I ever caught somebody were not hackers so much as rogue customer service representatives. I guess they were curious what was going on in my email accounts. It's a riveting pile of spam, I'm sure. But, so, but
you get the same kind of account that I do, Jer.
Yeah. So it's 2015. Those same tricks still work, but they need to be improved upon a little bit because things change. So that's what Robert's going to demo for us today on Yahoo, is how to tripwire today's Yahoo accounts.
Yep. So, I'm going to share a couple of different things here. The first is a little program I wrote called Email Tripwire. It's pretty simple. You don't really have to do much to configure it. Just enter some garbage text, change some links and stuff, and then you just run it. Now, if you go over to my inbox in this test account that I set up, and you hit refresh, there's an email on there. So before I click on it, I've got this thing over here, the server I've got, where if I hit refresh, there's nothing in here. It doesn't show me any logs. So there's nothing here. I hit refresh, there's nothing here, because this is designed just to show me logs of people who have been in my inbox and actually read that email. So if you click on an email, up pops this image. And what that's really doing is making a call to a remote server. Now this is a little complicated. You have to use the right type of MIME encoding. There's actually kind of two ways to do it. One is embedding the image in the email, and the other one is calling a remote server. So the script that I wrote, you should be able to download it and take a look at how that's written. It's pretty simple. And so you go back here and you hit refresh, and boom, there's somebody hit that particular image with that particular tag. I had to put this query string at the end just so I could differentiate it from other people who wanted to look at that Stallone image. But that's pretty much it. So you know the IP address of the person who's coming in, and you get a basic log. Nothing super special about it, depending on what you're logging. This is just a typical Apache log.
Now, one of the tricky parts that what I ran into way back when is just the simple act of sending an HTML-laced email the right way, so it does this.
Yeah, it's actually kind of non-trivial. It took me a couple tries to get it to work in the way that would actually make a remote call as opposed to a local call. But if you look at the basic premise of it, it uses MIME Lite, nothing particularly special about that. You do have to have it installed though. And that's pretty much the bulk of the code. It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing super complicated about it.
So this little script that you wrote, this is the one that actually sends yourself the email that somebody will be enticed to click on.
Correct. Yeah, you can send it to other people too and see if they've read your email. This is exactly the same technique that spammers use. So by default, your Yahoo account, if you've got a really old account and you never updated to the current version of Yahoo, it will load by automatically. The new version of Yahoo does not do that, so you actually have to turn it on. So if you want to be careful, you don't turn that on because you don't want spammers to see that you clicked the email, but you might turn it on when you're done checking your email so that Tripwire is sort of enabled again after you're done with the account for the day or whatever.
So it's kind of so cool. So the setup is, and we'll put the setup on the blog post, but you send yourself an email, with your script and make it attractive looking. So if somebody's in your account, hacker, customer service rep, or whatever, and they click on the email, you know right away because it's going to show up in your logs.
So does this only work on Yahoo?
It does work on Yahoo. I haven't tested. Well, I wasn't able to get email to even get delivered at all to Google, so that's not a particularly great example. It does work on Outlook in my tests as long as you have images enabled. So I don't think it's limited just to Yahoo. I think there's several that'll work on. It just depends on how you have it set up. If you allow those outbound images, Google works a little bit differently though. It does have a feature where it proxies all of the images. Images go through a sort of a CGI proxy, so that wouldn't show the IP address of the person clicking on it. It would only show you that someone clicked on it. And that's a little bit of a question mark because I'm not 100% sure that they don't just cache it locally. So Gmail is a different beast, but other webmail clients should, for the most part, work as long as they have outbound images able to be called.
So that's cool. So any of our fellow web hackers that are interested in this, help us out finding how to make it work for Gmail and even Facebook, which would be even more awesome. We'll post it and appreciate the help.
When you say Facebook, you mean that we would have a Tripwire private message or something like that?
I don't know. Like, it'd be nice to know when, because the story first came about, it recirculated because somebody was reaching out to Facebook customer service and get help with their account or something. And the Facebook CSR asked for permission to jump into their account, which of course they can. And somebody caught that and was surprised that, wow, they could actually jump into your accounts. And we're like, yeah, without the password, Facebook can jump into your account. So the idea came about that, somehow, some way, when Facebook does this, can we get a notification?
Cool.
So we don't know how yet, but it'd be nice to think about.
It would be.
Get on it, Robert.
They're a little bit trickier.
So, Robert, we're going to try it with me to log into your Yahoo account?
Sure.
Let's try this real quick. Let's go to mail.yahoo. All right, we're going to log into Robert's special, what is this, Robert Hansen test account.
Super secret.
And let's see if I can get the password right.
Password's all dots? That's weird.
Yeah. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm in Robert's account, so I'm a CSR, or I guessed his password, or I met in the middle of him and stole his cookies, which I don't think I've ever stolen his cookies. And I just read the email, like, that looks interesting, and I guess we'll have to kick it back to Robert to see if it showed up on his screen.
Yeah, so I go back to this this Tripwire account, hit refresh, and there you are. There's your IP address and information browser you're using and all that kind of stuff. So it works pretty much instantaneously as long as I go and check. I mean, obviously I could have this send me an email or do something more sophisticated, but this is just an example.
Excellent. So this is fun for the whole family. All right, so I think we're good. So Robert, thanks, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, no sweat.
All right, thanks everybody.
Cool, guys.